Hello. Welcome to Steve Rosenfield's stand-up comedy workshop show. What you are going to see tonight is a company of stand-up comedians who have trained together in a workshop conducted by award-winning comedy director, founder of the American Comedy Institute, and author of the book Mastering Stand-Up, Steve Rosenfield. Some of our alumni have gone on to perform on The Tonight Show, The Late Show, Conan O'Brien, Saturday Night Live, Gotham Comedy Live, and they perform in the best comedy clubs all across the US and all over the world. And speaking of all over the world, we actually have students performing from all over the world tonight. Because thanks to our workshops now being online, no matter where you live, you have the opportunity to pursue your dream of doing stand-up comedy, and you can work with Steve Rosenfield right from your very own home. So I'll mention more information on how to sign up, but please visit www.comedyinstitute.com for more information. And we're so excited to perform for you tonight. Thank you so much for watching. So my name is Micaela Fagan. I'll be your host tonight. I just got back to New York recently, actually, and I'm so glad to be back. However, I was nervous about coming back just because I do have a pre-existing condition where I love to party. So that's something that I was worried about, but things are seeming okay. And I did just miss my life here so much. Like, I missed being in New York surrounded by all the people, and I missed the strangers, and I missed scamming those strangers into thinking I was a famous close-up magic street magician, but really all I was doing was wasting their time. But I'm okay at it. And but don't worry, I'm still being safe. I'm not doing all those things anymore. I'm wearing a mask. I'm social distancing, but I am still rifling through people's stoop garbage because as unsanitary as it is, sometimes you find gems, and I'd like to share a few of the best things that I've come across recently. Like this pre-2001, oh my gosh, 3-dimensional rendering of the New York City skyline. That's incredible. I have this guitar. I found this on the street. It is broken beyond repair, and that's how I like it. And also this haunted dresser. Now, what I love about this dresser is I didn't think it'd be able to fit all of my clothes and the soul of an old woman, but it's done both those things, and she must not like my style because she is angry. It's kind of scary. I love stoop garbage. But before I was back in New York, I was actually spending time in Florida, and I was with quite the dynamic duo. They've been married 26 beautiful years. They've watched all 8 seasons of Dexter twice. And they still don't believe in global warming, and their names are Mike and Tina Fagan. I love them so much, my parents. I miss them dearly. But they lived in a 55 and over community, which means that I lived in a 55 and over community, and I fell asleep every night knowing that I was the only fertile woman within at least a mile. And if this became a situation where we had to repopulate the earth, there was going to be a line of old men knocking down my door. So I think I got out just at the right time. Some of them started to look at me a little bit differently. I will mention that when I was in college, I was a lesbian, and I still am because I'm not a quitter. I don't quit. At least I think I still am. I mean, I haven't had sex in like 2 years, but that's because of the quarantine, so. Only because of the quarantine. But I think I still am because all of my celebrity crushes are female astronauts. They're so hot. Also, I grew up wanting to be a nun. That was my goal. I was just so delighted by the idea that I could live with hundreds of women in a castle. Incredible. Technically, you are married to Jesus, but it's like he's always on a business trip. Seems like a pretty sweet deal to me. I'm really lucky though. I'm not the only queer person in my family. I have a wonderful aunt who's married to a woman, and they give fantastic advice. it's not exactly timely anymore, but I do still ask them. Like, I was wondering how long I should wait to message this girl on TikTok. And they're like, okay, yeah, TikTok, here we go. First thing you want to do is marry a man. And like, wait 10 to 12 years, okay? It's going to be okay. Then at your weekly all-girls poker game, I want you to tell your friend Debbie you've been in love with her for years. I want you to put down a 2 of hearts, go all in, all the cheddar, okay? Then pretend it never happened, wait 10 to 12 more years. Then at your goddaughter's communion, you're going to want to corner Debbie, finally kiss her full on the mouth. Don't worry, Debbie is invited. She's like family. Okay, kiss her full on the mouth, live happily ever after in secrecy. Does that help? Like, you know what? Yes, it does help a lot. Thank you guys so much for your advice. I'm so excited to bring your first comedian to the screen. He is a fantastically funny performer, and he's coming to us all the way from New Jersey. Please give it up for Mike Escalante.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much, Micaela. I was so naive when I was a kid. Even as a teenager, I didn't know what locker room talk was. The guys would be like, bro, my dick was working overtime this weekend. And another guy was like, my dick is exhausted. I thought they were telling the truth. And I was a virgin. So I chime in, my dick is patient and thoughtful and comfortable being alone. Over time, I learned that for me, saying less is better for locker room talk. The guys are like, I love a nice rack. What about you, Mike? And I go, as a virgin, any male-female interaction blew my mind. A friend would tell me, I made out with Jane, and I'd say, like on her face? Did you have her dad's permission? And then I found out my friends were having sex. Mike, I had sex with Val. Like on purpose? The truth is that I was a virgin until I was 27, which was crazy because I was a high school health teacher teaching sex ed. When they interviewed me, they asked me if I had experience with the subject. That was the wrong question. They should have asked me if my penis did. I had no experience with the female anatomy. I had questions, but I had no one to ask them to. I had no girlfriends. I didn't even have a sister I could shamefully ask. All I had was my mom, and I could not ask her, hey, Mom, can I have another scoop of pasta? Also, what's up with the vulva? I was such a bad sex ed teacher. I messed up the words. I'd be teaching like a sexual climax is known as an orgasm. And you know, I tried to be a role model for my students. I would walk into class on Monday like, hey class, guess who didn't have sex this weekend? Because abstinence is what all the cool people in their 20s do on the weekends. Abstinence. And another day I'd walk in like, hey class, happy hump day. Not. So I had to teach how to put a condom on, and that was a problem because I didn't know how. I had to watch YouTube videos. I watched videos with real penises, cartoon penises. I watched one with a claymation penis. And after about an hour of watching these videos, I was like, where am I in life that I'm watching these videos for work? I'd bring in sample condom boxes and the kids would ask questions. Mr. Escalante, what does it mean on the box when it says deep ribs increase stimulation? Well, that means it's right. Oh, here on the box, right? It says right here, al terminar las relaciones sexuales sostenga el condón. That right there. That's what it means. Right on the box. And I knew I sounded like an idiot. I wish I could have told them, Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never used a condom before. And I think you should know that. I've never used one before because my penis is gigantic. They don't make condoms this size. You may have noticed that sometimes I come into class limping because I have to tie my penis around my ankle. Thank you all so much. Have a great night. Thank you.
Give it up for Mr. Escalante teaching celibacy by example. Thanks, Mike. Your
Thank
next
you.
comic coming to the screen. She's so funny and she's a wonderful friend all the way from New York City. Please give it up for Beth Barber.
Good evening. When COVID hit New York City, I decided to move to a farmhouse in the country to be safe. But living in the country has its own difficulties. There are mice, there are bats, my daughter. Every morning I get up and I look out the window and I see the beautiful trees and I hear the birds chirping. And then I see a 400-pound black bear and sometimes a rattlesnake. And I think to myself, what the fuck am I still doing? I don't know why I thought the country was safe. I read In Cold Blood. Entire family murdered brutally. Where? In their farmhouse. I saw The Shining. Where did that take place? In the country. How about the horribly scary movie Cabin in the Woods? There's a reason it isn't called The Cabin on East 74th Street. I mean, if I scream, at least in the city, someone would hear me. Maybe they wouldn't help me, but they'd hear me. I mean, I have to get the fuck out of here. But living but the pandemic has had some really positive things for me. One is that I've gotten to live with my daughter, which really makes me feel like a teenager. I mean, one time she let me even use the car. Go to Walmart for a food delivery. But I got home a little late and she was really angry. And she said to me, "It's past your curfew." I said, "It's only 5 p.m. She said, "Where have you been?" I said, "Well, you knew I was going to Walmart." She said, Did you do what I said and make them bring the groceries out to the car?" I said, "Well, I really wanted to see some other people for once, so I went inside." She said, "Well, did you wear your mask?" I said, "Well, I tried, but my glasses fogged up." But it's okay because my daughter lets me watch as much television as I want. Sometimes when she's not looking, she goes to sleep. Go out in the yard and so that's really fun. And the other day I was folding some laundry and my daughter said to me, "I can't believe you're folding that laundry. It was done 2 days ago." Your mother was right about you. You're lazy. You don't care about your clothes. When she said that, it was really a beautiful moment for me. I felt so young. Just like I was failing as a daughter all over. Now, in the old days, BC, before COVID, like many people my age, I had a bucket list. But the pandemic did away with that. Now I just have a fucket list. Those are all the things that are too fucking stupid for me to waste my time on. I might die at any moment. Downton Abbey movie. watching the Titanic sink again, watching the reruns of Law and Order seasons 1 through 20, worrying about whether Harry made the right decision in leaving the royal family, wondering if Jane Fonda is telling us the truth when she says she's never had plastic surgery,
Yeah, right.
asking the question, do you give me joy, to my soup ladle, wondering how Kim Kardashian got as famous as Abraham Lincoln, wishing that Ruth Bader Ginsburg had given instructions to keep her on life support before the election, and finally asking the question, why the fuck is Mitch McConnell still alive? Now, we've all spent, or many of us have spent a lot of time on Zoom, okay? And as we all know, the whole point of Zoom is that you can see people. And have you ever, but some people have very peculiar things they do on Zoom. So for example, you go, or they'll,
Yeah,
and
it's true.
spend the whole time with you looking at, pieces of their body, like they're. So you think to yourself, don't you know we can see you? Anyway, thank you very much. It's been a real pleasure.
Woohoo! Give it up for Beth Farber. Beth.
That was great, Beth. Thanks. I'm so glad you're back in the city. And she brings up a good point with RBG. I miss RBG so much. I'm so devastated we lost her and not Mitch McConnell.
Yeah. Bad trade-off.
Oh, awful. But, there's going to be a new woman on the court, apparently, Amy Coney Barrett, which, her initials, ACB. Not as fun as RBG, but it is actually exactly how Trump thinks you start the alphabet. That's probably why I selected her. I just want to remind our comedians who are on the panel, please mute yourself if your environment's getting a little bit noisy, just so we can keep the audio nice and clean for our people at home. And we're going to move on with the show. Our next comedian coming to the screen, he is such a funny guy, and he is coming all the way from Cambridge, Massachusetts. So please give it up for Isa O'Neill.
Thank you. I'm sure we're all incredibly excited for the upcoming presidential debate. Here's what I think you should look for. First of all, the presidential candidate that will win the presidential debate will be the one that successfully completes a sentence. My money's on Donald Trump. He goes for the simpler sentence structure. Like, they're rapists. Or China is raping our country. Or it never happened. Or Rosie O'Donnell is disgusting. Or you're fired.
I'm fired.
Or I have great respect for women. Joe Biden tries more nuanced sentences. He says things like, COVID has taken, just this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Or when there's an unarmed person running at them with a knife or something, you shoot them in the leg. Has anybody bought a globe recently? Everybody wants a new iPhone, but nobody wants a new globe. I think the manufacturers of globes really need to rethink their advertising campaign. When's the last time you saw a really good globe ad? You don't see globe ads on the Super Bowl. You don't hear people say that Michelob Ultra ad was funny, but the Rand McNally globe ad, that was just hilarious. I have a few globe ad campaign ideas that can put globes on the map. This Valentine's Day, make her dreams come true. Buy her a globe. This 4th of July, honor our founding fathers who gave their lives for your liberty. Buy a globe. All I want for Christmas is a globe. Tired of spinning that boring old dreidel? This Hanukkah, spin a globe. It's Ramadan, a time to fast and buy a globe. What's Kwanzaa without a globe? Don't miss the incredible savings at Macy's President's Day Globe Sale. This Columbus Day, you too can discover America. Buy a globe.
Yay.
It's globe time. Nothing says my condolences like a globe. Globes, there is no substitute. He's got the whole world in his hand. Now you can too. Where there's life, there's a globe. When you said globe, you said it all. Buy a globe, just do it. Globes, good. Every kiss begins with a globe. Globes, I'm loving it. America runs on globes. What's up, globes? You have been an above average audience, thank you.
Yes, give it up for Isa O'Neill and for Globes. I feel like Globes deserve a round of applause too. They
Yeah.
did good service for many, many years, and I do hope they come back. Excellent ad campaign ideas, Isa. Your next comedian coming to the screen is performing all the way from Jackson, New Jersey. She's so funny. Please give it up for Emily Page.
Hey guys, thanks Michaela. So I'm a teacher and we've recently been asked to go back to the building to teach, which is really exciting because I've always wanted to know what it's like to be part of a life or death science experiment. The kids are so quiet this year with the masks, which honestly goes to show that we should have muzzled them a long time ago. I do some of my stand-up when I'm teaching and I get an incredible amount of laughs because the students get it, you know? They get that if they laugh, they'll get an A. So I'm excited too because this Saturday I am celebrating the 1-year anniversary of my divorce.
Oh.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna have a great time. I'm gonna drink a bottle of my favorite wine, put on my wedding video, and laugh at that idiot in the white dress. I saw a friend I hadn't seen in a while, and she noticed I wasn't wearing my wedding ring, and she was like, "That makes sense. But it looked expensive. Did you trade it in for cash?" And I was like, "No, I traded it in for freedom and happiness." The other day, my dad said to me, he's like, you know, Em, I know this wasn't your fault. And I know that you'll get remarried. And if you screw up that one, I'm not paying for another wedding. I have a toddler daughter named Ava, or as I like to call her, birth control. I really love her, except, well, I'm not saying she's a psychopath, but every time we watch The Lion King, she laughs when Mufasa dies. So there's that. Until you become a parent, you don't know what you're capable of. Like, before I had my daughter, I never understood why parents were always complaining about being tired. Then I became a mom and spent many nights wondering how much Tylenol was enough to make her sleep, but not kill her. When I went back to work, part of me felt like a bad mom. It wasn't so much that I went back to work. It was more everyone coming up to me being like, oh my gosh, how are you doing? You must miss her so much. And I was just like, who? People always ask me, do you want more kids? More kids? I'm not sure I want this one. Dating has been interesting as a single mom. I had one guy tell me, you know, I understand. I understand I'll never be number one because of your daughter. And I just want you to know I'm okay with being number two. And I was like, oh, honey, you're like fifth at best. Like at best. I feel like some guys get the wrong idea about me because I'm a single mom. Like, they think I want more children. What I want is more sleep. They think I'm looking for a baby daddy. I'm just looking for a babysitter. There are definitely benefits to dating a single mom, though. For instance, if you're dating a single mom and she has her kid with her, you have an excuse to do all the cool stuff you wouldn't normally be able to do alone, like go to Chuck E. Cheese. When was the last time you saw a grown man at Chuck E. Cheese by himself? And be honest, if you saw a grown man in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese by himself, you would call security. A friend of mine wanted to set me up with a guy who she said was way younger than me. And I was like, I'm not that old. How young is this guy? Like, does he have a curfew? Does he have permission to go out on a school night? Does he have his license, or do I have to pick him up? Does his mom have my number in case of an emergency? Can he watch R-rated movies? And most importantly, how much does this babysitting job pay? Thank you all so much.
Emily Page. Hey, you know what? All bets are off. We all have a curfew now. I say go for it. Your next comedian coming to the screen, he's a really wonderful guy and he's so funny. He's performing from Brooklyn, New York. I could probably wave to him right now if I waved really hard, but for right now, I'll settle for seeing him on Zoom. Please put your hands together for Ben Rosenfield.
Hey, Micaela.
Hey!
You may be able to tell by my complexion that sometimes I don't leave the apartment for days. One good thing about staying inside is it gives me lots of time to think. I think about death. And fucking. And then death. And then death. And then fucking. And then the groceries. Yeah. I went outside because I needed to go food shopping. And I saw they were selling lemons for $2 a piece. And I look over at the line to pay, and it's wrapping around the entire store. And I'm thinking, a place that sells lemons for $2 a piece can't hire some more cashiers? I reach for a lemon. And then a guy pushes me and says, "Excuse me," at the same time. Now, I don't care if you say "excuse me" and then push me, and it's no problem if you push me and then say "excuse me," but to simultaneously push and excuse, it's inexcusable. Sometimes I'm worried that my anger might be a problem. The other day, I was watching a movie with my girlfriend, and right when it's getting good, the music is getting tense. Our man is walking straight into an ambush. She says, "Why is he going in there?" I don't know why he's going in there. I don't know why people do the things they do. I don't know why I do the things I do. My therapist said I'm too hard on myself. I said, "For this, I pay $150 a week." Some people say my generation has been coddled, but I'm pretty sure that we've had it a lot worse than our parents did. They all got jobs, and cars, and pensions. We got 9/11, we got COVID, and we got overpriced lemons. I was walking home through this underpass in the Port Authority with my lemons, trying to keep my social distance. Don't want to see anybody. And then I see this group of evangelicals screaming in the megaphones about the apocalypse. So I scream back, "Newsflash, it already happened. It's already over. I'm dead. I'm in hell." This nice lady came up to me and she said, "That's not true." And you know, she's right. The truth is much scarier. The truth is I'm alive. I'm thinking about taking antidepressants. Or maybe joining a cult. You know, anything to give some structure to my life. Before the pandemic hit, I was a performing artist. Now I do a little performance at home. I do a scene with myself in the mirror. It goes like this: "Somebody help me!" You'll be okay. Somebody help me! You'll be okay. Somebody help me! You'll be okay. You'll be okay too. You've been a wonderful audience. Thank you. Have a great night.
And Rosenfield. You know what's good for depression? I kid you not, citrus. Right. Or you could, I think there's only one thing to do. Pay your therapist in 75 lemons. I think that's where you're gonna get. That was great. Thank you, Ben. Your next comedian coming to the screen. I'm so excited about this performer. Not only is she making her stand-up comedy debut, but she is performing all the way from Iceland. I kid you not. Please give it up for Lovisa Laura.
Hi. I do not know Björk. Sorry. My name is Lovisa. Don't worry, nobody gets it right. I'll teach you guys the correct pronunciation of my name. It's very easy. It's just that song, that Pat Benatar song from the 80s. Don't you know it? The Lovisa song? Nobody? No? Well, it goes like this. We are young. Heartache to heartache we'll stand. Lovisa battlefield. And now you won't forget it. So I'm really happy to be here tonight. Really happy. I really needed some cheering up. I work in retail. So yeah. And there's just nothing worse than the jokes that customers tell. If you are the kind of person that tells jokes to a cashier,
That successfully
stop it. I know it's you, please. Nobody likes it. Just stop it right now. It's not too late. The most common one, and therefore the worst one, is the one that you're trying to scan something and then the customer goes, I guess it's free. Ugh. So it's so funny. Like, did you workshop that one in a comedy class? Do you want to be next and do that one? So funny. Well, for so many people have been doing that joke that I've actually haven't heard it in a while. It's gone away a bit, but don't breathe that sigh of relief yet. There is a second wave and it has mutated. Now the joke goes like this. I'm trying to scan something and it doesn't scan and I'm super stressed. I'm trying to work and then the customer goes, I'm not gonna say, is it free? Well, you just fucking said it, didn't you? You just said it. And what's worse, you acknowledged that you knew that I find it annoying. And you said it anyway. I don't go up to your job and remind you of something incredibly annoying. I don't go up to your desk and be like, hey man, I'm not gonna talk about Kevin Spacey's apology and then just leave. Because now you're thinking about it and now your day is ruined. Another woman came into my work the other day and everything was going fine, or so I thought. We were at the register, nobody was weird, nobody told jokes. And then I went to hand her bag and I went, thank you, have a great day. And she went, you too, smiley face. No, I will not stand for this. LOL and JK in conversation. I don't like it, but I'll accept it. But I will not accept you talking in emojis. Are we gonna start talking in GIFs? Something embarrassing is happening and you're like, oh, Kim Kardashian peeking from behind bushes. I went to the bathroom at work the other day and when I came out, my 20-year-old coworker, she went, did you just go to the bathroom? And I went, yeah. And she went, without your phone? Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you do? I peed. What did you do while you were peeing? I was like, I don't know, finish the thought. I don't know. And she went, but where did you look? At the door, I guess, or my and then she called me sociopath. And that got me thinking about her generations of horror films. It's going to be quite different from mine, because in my day we had Jack Nicholson roaming the hallways of a hotel with an axe. And we had Hannibal Lecter, muscled, crazy stuff. But in her generation's horror films, it's probably just going to be like an accountant menacingly staring at the wall while pooping without Thank you. I've been Lovisa, embarrassed monkey face.
Lovisa, that was awesome. That was her stand-up comedy debut. Great job. And I do think the next iPhone you will be able to wipe with. That's the upgrade. That wasn't good. That was fantastic. Thank you so much. And thank you especially for staying up so late at night to be part of the show. Your next comedian coming to the screen, he is from Kansas City, Missouri, a really funny guy. So glad to have him. Please give it up for Larry Levine.
You've done yourself a real favor by tuning in tonight. Look, no matter what they tell you, do not quarantine. It ain't nothing but a conspiracy. Are y'all blind? What's the first word in quarantine? That's right, Quran. They will do anything to make us live by that old Sharia law. Face masks are just the beginning. Soon, you and your children and your children's children will be covered in a burqa. If everybody's wearing a burqa, how are we supposed to know who to hate? Now, I done survived every virus known to mankind, and this old corona ain't no different. As advised by our very own dear leader, I down 6 hydroxycut pills every day. I call it my daily 6-pack. I'm virus free, and I've also dropped 69 pounds. 69. But when it comes to beating the virus from the inside, there ain't nothing better than breathing that good old hot air. Don't believe me? Just watch. Oh my God. 911? It's Karen. What? No, just Karen. There's a guy on my computer screen, and he's telling jokes, and he's black. I'm so scared. Send the police, the Minneapolis police, the National Guard, a crossing guard. Any of them will do as long as they start a riot. At the supermarket the other day, I counted 25 people with improperly positioned masks. 25. I walked up to this scofflaw and I said, "Hey, bozo, don't talk to me unless you wear your mask like this." Now that we've been wearing masks for several months now, I've noticed one thing. Mine always seem to pop off without warning, causing me tons of embarrassment. I've lost several friends and close family members because they were all afraid that I would spit on their face. I went to the doctor and he diagnosed me with TED, tiny ear disorder. He introduced me to a revolutionary new product called Ear Extender. It helps keep my mask on. It's really changed my life. Available in 3 styles: black, white, and my personal favorite, Barack Obama. I have hope now. Breaking news. Joe Biden has kept his promise and picked a black female as his running mate. Her name, Senator Kamala Harris. What? Oh, hell no. Girl, did you hear that? Joey B didn't pick me. I said Joey B didn't pick me. Some heifer named Kalama. Have you ever heard of a Kalama? What? It's a yoga pose. Girl, nobody knew no yoga in the hood. If Joey B was really serious about picking a black woman, he would have picked me. Barakisha. Girl, you know he only playing himself. If he really wanted to pick a black woman, he would have picked me. He picked a woman of color. If jaundice is a color, girl, I got to go. I'll talk to you later. You know I got the wappiest wap, Kamama. Come find something. Good luck to you and Joey B. Bye. Thank you.
Give it up for Larry Levine and Barakisha. And I never thought I'd say this, but let's hear it for Karen. Your next comedian coming to the screen, she is a wonderful lady and a very funny performer, all the way from Washington, D.C. Please give it up for Yelena Kulik.
Good evening. I grew up in Russia, and we were very poor. In school, they were used to make fun of me because of my poor-looking shoes. The only kind we could afford. Well, now when in America, I have a big shoe collection. Thank you, America. Specifically, pay less. I was so excited. When I got my visa to come here, I went to celebrate to the most famous American restaurant in Moscow, McDonald's. I said to the man there, I'm celebrating tonight. Can I please have an extra pickle? He said, no. When I went to American embassy in Moscow to get my visa, the agent said to me, you look like a ballerina. And I said, yes. How did you know? That in case he's watching. I met this American man, and he flew all the way to Moscow to meet me. And first thing he said in Russian to me was, you started a fire in my heart. I asked him, is that the only Russian you know? Let me teach you something you can really use while you're here with me. My dress size is 2. He went to meet my parents to get the approval, and my dad hugged him. My dad is a very warm person. He hugs everybody. He is the Russian Joe Biden. We heard that Russians believe that we could solve all our problems, what we have with each other, with the warm bear hug. And if there is still a problem, then with radioactive polonium. The way my dad proposed to my mom was to say to her, I want to unlock your deepest secrets of love. And exactly 9 months later, I was born. I guess my mother's luck had an easy combination. She wanted me to be a boy. She had a name picked out, Boris. Instead, I showed up. She blamed my dad and called him a wimp for his ability to produce Boris. I think my father is a brave man for getting that close to my mother. So, Russians announced they already developed COVID vaccine and they're offering for sale, and it's a good deal. It's like for $75 you get a vaccine and a photo of Donald Trump in Moscow. You get a golden shower. I just see my dentist recently, and he told me that this pandemic has made him to decide to move his office. He wants to open practice outside on the beach in Malibu. He said, instead of Novocaine to numb you up, I'll give you pina colada. If I did that, would you still be my patient? Your patient? I will be your wife. Finally, I went out with my girlfriends for a drink. I really needed it. And it was really sweet. The manager actually came up to me and said, I want to thank you for being here tonight, for your social distancing and wearing a mask. But could you please stop dancing on the table? My husband always said that I ask for presents that are just too expensive. And I said, all right, well, I'll stop asking you for a swimming pool. And he said, okay, well, thank you. That's better. But then I said, but can I please still get a pool boy? Oh. Friend me on the Facebook so I can tell you who to vote for. Thank you so much. I love you.
it up for Yelena Kulik. That was awesome. We have one final comedian tonight. Your headliner is coming all the way from Santa Monica, California. He's a really funny comic and a really nice guy. Please give it up for Tom Susko.
Thank you, Micaela. Hi, everyone. Really good to be with you wherever you are. As a doctor, what really gets my goat is insurance companies saying no to a bad disease like rheumatoid arthritis. In ancient Greece, the original word for insurance was no. Patients have to call the insurance company to beg for the drug their doctor prescribed. Here's a typical call. Why is my drug being denied? Well, let me look up your policy. It's a POS policy. Point of service? Piece of shit. What is covered? Infliximab. What's that? A drug that's highly effective in mice. Side effects? In humans, craving cheese, fear of cats, leaving little trails of poop. Give me the supervisor. Just a moment. This is the supervisor. You're the same guy. No, I'm not. I've changed. Just kill me. We are. Slowly and profitably. I read in the news this woman created a texting robot after her husband died, using all their text messages while he was alive. Since he died, she says she's texted him 10,000 times. She says, I know it's him because the messages sound just like him when he was alive. Leave me alone. You know, James Bond has been at it for almost 60 years. And they're coming out with another one in November. It's called No Time to Die. I think it should be called It Is Time to Die. I wish instead of getting one younger actor after another to play him, they just stuck with Sean Connery. He was the best Bond. Let him grow old. They could just write the script to match his age. Like, for example, instead of roulette in a casino, he could play bingo in his nursing home. Instead of a sensual massage by a sexy spy, he could be getting a prostate exam from his urologist. In every movie, he says, my name is Bond, James Bond. It would be great if they could make it realistic and have him say, my name is, what's my name again? And when he gets up a chair, the loud that we hear is not him shooting a villain, it's his knees. Instead of, I always love a woman with a knife, he says, I'll do anything for a woman who will puree my chicken. You know, the first joke ever told was when Adam and Eve were being thrown out of the Garden of Eden, and Eve said to Adam, how about them apples? America is facing a monkey shortage because of demand for COVID-related medical experiments. In fact, the National Institutes of Health wants to create a national monkey reserve. They're going to call it the White House. Our medical system is so broken. It's even difficult for doctors to imagine something that would work. It would take Walt Disney to imagine that. At Disney World, you've got Frontierland, you've got Tomorrowland. They should have Hospital Land. At Disney World, when you get to at Hospital Land, when you get to the front of a very short line, a cast member asks, "Do you have insurance?" No. Well then, come right in. And if you need a bunion removed after the surgery, the nurse says, "You know, you look a little bit tired. Why don't you stay here a month or two?" And remember, you can press Goofy's nose for Disney room service. When I'm out and I have pain, what should I do? Well, that's not a problem. All you have to do is visit Morphine Land. Thank you all so much for being here tonight. Back to you, Micaela.
Thank you, Dr. Tom Susko. That was our headliner, and that was our show. Let's hear it for all the comics that were performed tonight. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to link some information down below about the American Comedy Institute in the details of this video. But if you've ever dreamed of trying stand-up comedy, this is your place to do it. And now with our workshops through Zoom, no matter where you are in the world, you can do our workshop and you can work with Steve Rosenfield and you can perform with us next month. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and stay safe and healthy. Thank you.